I remember that night vividly, the stillness in the house, the hum of the refrigerator, and the faint glow of streetlights seeping through the curtains. My wife Lauren had been acting distant for weeks. Fewer hugs, shorter conversations. Eyes that once lit up when she saw me now glazed over with something I couldn't read. Or maybe something I didn't want to. I told myself it was stress, maybe work. But when she started borrowing my car every Friday night, the excuses didn't add up. At first she said it was to run errands. Then it became meeting friends. Sometimes she'd come home late, hair messy, perfume mixed with a cologne that wasn't mine. My gut told me something was wrong, but I wanted to be wrong more than I wanted the truth. Until one evening, my phone pinged with a GPS notification. A feature I'd forgotten I had. My car was parked outside a hotel across town. I stared at the screen, feeling my heartbeat crawl up to my throat. I didn't want to believe it. So I waited. Hours later, Lauren came home, humming softly, wearing the same dress but with her lipstick slightly smudged. She smiled, pretending nothing was unusual. I smiled back, pretending I didn't already know. That night, while she showered, I checked the car's dashboard camera, something she never noticed. The footage started normally, her driving, tapping her nails on the steering wheel, singing softly. But then at the hotel parking lot, a man appeared, tall, bearded, familiar. I paused the video. My coworker, Jason. My so-called friend. The world spun. My throat dried up. I sat there in silence, the kind that screams louder than any words could. For the first time, I realized how long I'd been living beside a stranger. She came out of the bathroom wrapped in a towel, smiling faintly, and asked if I wanted to join her. I just said, "I'm tired." She kissed my cheek, unaware that the life we built together was already burning quietly in my chest. That night I didn't sleep. I drafted my plan instead. Not for confrontation, not for begging, but for peace. I wanted out, but I wanted her to remember me not as the fool she deceived, but as the man who ended it on his terms. By morning, I had everything ready. The documents, the evidence, and the quiet storm that would change everything. The next day, I went about my morning like nothing had changed. I made coffee, packed my briefcase, and even kissed Lauren on the forehead before leaving. She smiled absently, scrolling through her phone, probably texting him. It was almost poetic. How calm I felt while watching the woman I loved dissolve into someone unrecognizable. At work, Jason greeted me like always. He asked about the project deadline, about weekend plans, as if he hadn't just slept with my wife in the car I paid for. I looked him straight in the eye and said, "I'm planning something special this weekend." He laughed, clueless. That evening, I came home early. Lauren wasn't there again. Her girls' dinner excuse was now routine. I sat at the kitchen table, lit a single candle, and laid out 2 envelopes. One for her, one for him. The first held the divorce papers. The second, screenshots, GPS logs, and clips from the dashboard camera. I wasn't going to scream, or beg, or expose her publicly. I just wanted to return her betrayal with elegance. When she walked in, she froze. Her eyes darted to the candle, then to the papers. "What's this?" she asked, setting her purse down slowly. I looked at her for a long moment before replying, "Your freedom." Her lips parted slightly. "Freedom? What are you talking about?" I slid the envelope across the table. "You used my car to visit Jason. You thought I wouldn't find out. You were wrong." Her face drained of color. You checked the GPS?" I nodded. "And the camera?" She tried to speak, but the words tangled on her tongue. I could see the panic crawling over her, not because she felt guilty, but because she'd been caught. "It's not what you think," she started, voice trembling. "We just—" "Don't insult me." I cut her off quietly. "You've already done enough of that." The room was heavy with silence. Then she broke down, tears streaming as she tried to reach for my hand. I pulled away. "You've spent months lying to my face, Lauren." I begged for honesty. I begged for connection. "You gave it to someone else." She whispered, "Please don't do this. We can fix it." But I shook my head. "No. You broke it. You just didn't expect me to walk away before you were ready." Her tears turned to pleading, but I'd already made peace with the decision. This wasn't revenge, it was closure. The next morning, I left before sunrise. The house was quiet, the way it used to be before lies filled the air. Lauren was still asleep on the couch, clutching the divorce papers like a lifeline. Her phone buzzed on the table, Jason's name flashing across the screen. For a moment, I almost pitied her. Almost. Then I slipped my wedding ring beside her hand and walked out, shutting the door softly behind me. Driving felt different that morning. The same car she had used to betray me now carried my freedom. I didn't feel rage anymore, just a strange, calm emptiness. Betrayal has a way of cleansing you. It burns everything false until only truth remains. I parked near the beach, watched the sun rise, and breathed in the cold air. It felt like the first honest breath I'd taken in months. Later that day, I sent Jason his envelope at the office. I didn't attach a message. The footage spoke for itself. When he opened it, I saw the blood drain from his face. His confident grin vanished as he realized what it was. He didn't approach me, didn't even try to explain. I could feel his shame radiating across the room. Sometimes silence is louder than revenge ever could be. Lauren tried calling me for days after that. Then came the messages. Long paragraphs of apologies, excuses, confessions. She said she'd made a mistake, that she'd lost herself, that she never meant to hurt me. But betrayal isn't an accident. It's a series of choices made in secret. I didn't reply. I didn't need to. My absence would say everything words couldn't. Weeks passed and I began to rebuild. The house felt lighter without her energy dragging it down. I learned to cook again, to read before bed, to listen to music without thinking of what she'd say about my taste. Freedom wasn't loud, it was quiet, patient, and healing. People at work whispered about what happened, but I didn't care. For once, I was living truthfully. Months later, Lauren showed up at my office. She looked smaller, thinner, like someone who'd finally faced the weight of her decisions. She asked if we could talk. I looked at her, really looked, and realized the love I once felt was gone. It had died the night she drove away in my car. I hope you find what you're looking for, I told her gently. She nodded, eyes glistening, and walked away without another word. Watching her go, I felt no anger, only relief. Betrayal had ended my marriage, but it gave me back myself. And that, I realized, was the most powerful revenge of all.